Funko Pops.
Yeah, sometimes.
All right. So that wow, this feels weird.
It does feel weird. Should we start with an official
Back in the saddle.
introduction, maybe?
I'm gonna start with some shout outs too. I need to send a picture to Noah Vance. So he knows this is
I'm getting
happening.
lunch with him in a week.
Are you?
I am.
Yeah, he works at Christ Community now.
I know. I saw him at one.
I'm gonna send him a picture. He's gonna lose his mind. Okay.
Here's mine.
Well, everybody, welcome back.
We
to
are
the-
alive.
to the Cole and Noah, our friends podcast. I know we left you
podcast.
hanging as to whether Cole and I were friends.
It's been a rough year.
We
Honestly,
we had to do a lot
of
of healing. We had to do a lot of healing
Yeah. The Lord's so faithful.
since last October.
Yeah.
No, Cole and I have been friends this whole time. We never stopped being friends, and we wanted to bring back this podcast. And
Yes.
we've been trying to think of ways to do it because Cole misplaced the audio equipment, and bringing that here and then finding time where whatever to record basically wasn't going to work. But Cole and I think we found a new system,
Yep.
and we both want to record more.
Yes.
And on top of that, Cole and I want to add a new element to this podcast.
That's it.
A third friend, Charles. No, I'm just kidding. That would be awesome though. Charles. is on it.
Maybe
Charles
we'll get
for
Charles
real?
in here.
No, we'll have Charles on sometime. Charles will be a guest. But we'll also be adding video.
That's
soon.
right.
We want to make this a video podcast so you can see our faces.
Yep. Because turns out a lot of you have bugged us about that.
More than we thought.
More than we thought. Noah, I'll be honest. I believe in our friendship and its potential to make a really great podcast.
Same here.
I think there's because you've all been so encouraging, and you've been, hey, where's the podcast? When are
One
you gonna start
person
the podcast
specifically has really risen up the ranks in people who's wanted to hear this.
Yep.
And that is Noah Vance, formerly from Camp Rivercrest. He now
Correct.
works at Christ Community.
again? Camp Community? Camp Christ
Camp Community, River
River Christ?
Community.
River
But
Christ.
no, Noah, I led at a summer camp this summer, and Cole led at last winter retreat.
I spoke-
Or you spoke.
yeah,
you
I
didn't
spoke at
lead.
some stuff.
Well, sure.
Yeah.
Cole spoke at one, and Noah brought up the podcast to both of us, and apparently that's all he listened to when he was on his honeymoon this past year.
I'm like honored and
Yeah.
was a little concerned too.
Yeah, he brought up things to me that I said on this podcast that I did not remember.
Forgot
like
all
things that I didn't know that I had shared with people about me that I
Yep.
shared on this podcast.
Yep.
That he remembered and would like bring them up to me. So I was a little freaked out by that, but Noah, shout out to you. You're bringing this back, and hopefully I don't even, I mean, honestly, I hope this goes well because I loved getting to do this. It's a lot of fun.
Yeah.
But even if not, my wife told me I need a hobby, and this is my hobby. Cole and I are going to podcast.
Correct. That's amazing to me because my wife usually tells me I need to stop it with the hobbies because I have way too many.
During COVID, Cole bought a ton of sandbags to build a gym in his
I did-
garage.
No, I didn't buy sandbags. I bought duct tape, and I just went to the park and stole sand. I bought gallon Ziploc bags. I was like, COVID's not going to keep me from getting in my workouts.
I did not know that you just stole sand from a park.
Yeah, it's free
I thought
sand.
you bought sand.
It's free
It's free
sand.
It's free sand.
Just go get
The
it.
sand is free.
Yeah, it's there. It's why it's a public park. You know, go seize the day and some sand.
Where there's one hole at that park that's just so deep.
I was
Pulls Ziploc
determined, dude.
bags.
I bought heavy duty duct tape and a gallon Ziploc bags, and I filled those suckers with sand, and then I wrapped like 4 of them together, 4 or 5 or 6 or something, because I wanted 2. I was making kettlebells. I wanted duct tape kettlebells. And I wanted a medium weighted one and a heavier weighted one because I wanted to put in some work at home at the apartment. I didn't want to be locked down and unfit. And then I used
thought
them
you bought
once.
sandbags.
No.
That's
That
even
would have
better.
been smarter.
That makes it so much better.
Would have been smarter.
Cole, the last time. Oh, also happy Thanksgiving from 2023. That was in Cole's notes for the next time we record. Last year, we realized the last episode we uploaded was last October, and we said we're going to keep recording after our long break. We'll be back,
And we're back. We didn't lie.
That's true.
Mostly.
It was just a short 10-month break.
That's yes. Yeah.
A short 10-month hiatus. We were on a break. a short 10-month hiatus.
On a break.
What, Cole? What are some things? There has been a lot that I feel like has happened.
Yeah.
In the last 10 months. I mean, most importantly, I watched the Batman over Christmas break with my wife.
Yeah. I would have been concerned if you hadn't.
And sure enough, still incredible.
Still great.
Still so very good.
I haven't rewatched the Batman, and I feel like I should.
Yeah, we didn't watch it all in one go because it is a long movie. We watched it in like sections.
Yep.
But still a banger.
You know it's coming back in the theaters in December.
You told me.
Did I? Of course I did.
Cole's going to be there.
I will be there. I don't care if nobody goes with me.
For just a second. We're going to give you 5 seconds to guess what movie is coming back in theaters that Cole would be so excited for.
I dare you to guess. You'll never be able to guess. It's Interstellar.
It's Interstellar, and Cole is so excited.
I can't wait. Oh my gosh, I can't wait. The music's going to be excellent because it is excellent, but to see it in the theater again. Oh,
and is it going to be in Dolby?
I hope so.
That'd be crazy.
Gosh, I want to see it so bad.
They didn't even have that technology then. At least not
Did they?
Here.
I'm not fluent on
I mean, they had Dolby, but they didn't have like
tech.
the Dolby specific theaters. Like
Sure.
there's a whole different, there's an IMAX theater at the Council Bluffs AMC.
Yep.
And then there's the Dolby theater, which is like more expensive.
It's odd to me that Council Bluffs would be the one place there's a Dolby theater around here.
It's because it's got the nicest AMC, which is crazy.
Does it actually?
The only other options for AMC are one that closed, which was the one at Oakview, which was cool if they could have remodeled it.
All right.
And then AMC Westroads, and that theater sucks.
Why are we losing such good theaters to Council?
Hey, come on now.
They got to be good at something.
Formerly Star Cinema.
That's right.
There's a Tesla dealership right over by there.
Is there actually?
The Cybertruck
came out, and people are driving them everywhere.
I just saw today that you can rent one on Turo.
Really?
Yeah, I was
might
driving
do
behind one. Same here. Kian really wants one.
Yeah,
and I'm like, no shot, buddy. Sorry,
no chance.
But
no dice.
We could maybe rent one on Turo.
Oh, that's brilliant.
We'll
totally
collaborate.
Turo
And we'll rent one on Turo, and we'll take Kian and Tessa out in the Tesla Cybertruck.
Our wives can judge us as we go.
Yes.
Yeah,
we'll go on a dad date in a Tesla Cybertruck. Also, Cole's wife is pregnant, almost not pregnant.
That's
again,
correct.
With their third child.
She's been cooking a baby. That baby's almost here.
She's been cooking it up.
We have no idea the gender either. We're gonna
really. You're finding out at birth.
Correct.
Oh my goodness.
We're gonna be surprised.
That's crazy.
I mean, it's a 50-50 shot. It's one or the other, but
it's 50. Could go either way. You could. I mean, your son could have a little brother or a little sister.
Who knows?
And then, how do you think, have you quizzed them on what they want more? Have you asked?
We have asked them. It actually made me think way too deeply about my kids and my parenting because I said, what do you think it is? And Isaac will be like, I think it's probably a girl. And Tessa will say, I really want it to be a girl, but I think it's probably a boy. And I thought to myself, have I already taught my kids that they should just expect it's the opposite of what they want in life? Are they already planning to be disappointed?
Be ready for disappointment. Cole goes home every day after work and he goes, hey guys, I love you so much. Remember, be ready for disappointment.
Yeah, like we say as a family.
Like Miss Rachel. It's printed above his door.
Yeah. They're like
be
all
ready for disappointment so you can
curvy
never
letters.
be disappointed.
That's right.
Call and response. Be ready for disappointment so you can never be disappointed.
Exactly. Yeah, they memorize scripture, and that's one of our life codes at home because we all have those.
Yeah.
When you work at LifeGate, you have life codes for your family. You get to come up with some of those on your own.
You have the 8 LifeGate ones.
Yep.
Those are printed above your door.
Yep.
Then you have to make 8 more specific to your family.
Correct. Yes.
It is. It's in the contract we signed when we step out of free agency into ministry at LifeGate.
Yeah, that's it. Exactly.
It
served us really well.
Into the combine, the LifeGate Talent Combine.
Yeah. My personal favorite is if it's free, it's for me. So I'm on Facebook Marketplace too often.
Name it, claim it.
Yeah.
You know, not with anything. It's like stuff in the fridge, not like the
sure. Yeah.
The thought process of like.
I mean that one too. Ministry. It's a double. Yeah. We double dip on that one. We do a little bit of both.
Also, guys, the last time we recorded, Cole, what was your job here at LifeGate?
Last time we recorded, I was the youth and associate campus pastor at our Papillion campus.
And Cole, what is your job title now?
Not that. Now I am our pastor / director of CoLab, which is our residency program. So my job is to tell a bunch of people who we pay a little bit to do whatever I want.
And
basically.
Season 1 finale guest in the mega episode, Josiah Hintz,
yeah,
is now the Papillion youth pastor.
That's right. He took my job, and I'm so pleased.
And he cut all his hair off.
And he cut all his hair off. Yeah, Josiah got a crazy haircut.
And he's been growing his hair forever.
I know.
That's very cool.
Like for him to, and he's got his, I mean, it's his story, but he's had his own, like, has had brain surgery before.
Mm-hmm.
And I think a big part of coming out of that was like, I'm going to grow my hair back and do the long hair thing again. And now he's like, no hair, scars are out. He's doing it because he loves his kids. And I love that. He's a great guy.
What a good
I
guy.
love Josiah.
Yeah, that's awesome.
He's awesome. And those Papillion kids. I love those Papillion kids, dude.
Shout out Lifekeep Papillion kids. Or
They're
just
so fun.
Papillion kids in general. You know?
Yeah. Just kids in Papillion.
Shout them out.
They're so great. If you're a kid in Papillion,
Shout out to you.
yeah.
Shout out to you. Also,
You're
apparently
killing it.
my dad, a lot of his youth students at City Light East in Council Bluffs listen to this podcast.
Really?
Yep. Because I told them about it once when I went over there to
That's
get
right.
my testimony, and they all
Yep.
were reading the titles out loud, and they were like, they read Burger King foot lettuce, and they said, "Tell us about that episode." And I said, "Guys, I can't remember anything about that episode other than the title, because once these get recorded, they erase from my brain."
Yeah.
What are some other new things? I got to see Laney, one of my favorite bands of all time. I got to see the band Camino twice. No, not twice. Yeah, since we last recorded, I've gotten to see them twice. Once
Actually.
last October, and then July, I got to see them. I went to Des Moines to see them.
Heck yeah.
Incredible show. I got to see Dayseeker, unreal show. I got to see Bill Murray in Kansas City.
Nice.
Fantastic
Nice.
show. Unintentionally ended up in a mosh pit, so that was something I've never experienced at a
Yeah.
show
How does that
before.
happen? How do you accidentally? Somebody's got to push you.
So I
right?
stood where I thought was safe. It wasn't towards the middle. I was more off to the right, and I thought I was far enough back,
Yeah.
but still close, so I could get a good shot at the show. Because we went with a friend of ours who they attended different City Light in Council Bluffs. She also went to NCC. Her name was Aubrey Moreno at
Yeah,
the time.
I
Now
remember
Aubrey
her.
Powers.
Yep.
She's married to Logan Powers, and they went. And Aubrey is very short. And so we had to find a spot where she could stand and see that wouldn't be blocked by very tall people, which
Yeah.
most people for Aubrey are very tall. I'm sorry, Aubrey, if you hear this episode.
But thanks for listening to our
found
podcast.
what we thought was the spot.
Sure.
And then the first song started, and people bum rushed towards where we were. Like, if you're looking dead on at the stage, we were like off to the right and probably like 9 rows back.
Yeah.
Roughly.
Yeah.
And people bum rushed from our right towards the center of the room.
Mm-hmm.
And then the mosh pit just started, and it started not too far from us. And so it was cooking. And I was standing next to Aubrey and Logan.
Yep.
And then Aubrey got pushed into me, and Logan got pushed into Aubrey, and then I got pushed into Thomas Knutson. Peter Knutson and Austin Alfrey were behind us. They got pushed towards it. So we're sitting there, and I'm just screaming. I'm like, "Go towards the center! Go away from here!" And nobody can hear me because loud music is happening. And
Yeah,
we're
yeah.
just like, this is the first time I've ever been in a mosh pit, basically. I wasn't like in the center, but I was
Really?
getting pushed like backwards. So people
Yeah.
would come near me, and I just had to shove them towards the middle.
Right.
And then at a certain point, I felt like a military tactician. I had like my hand on Thomas Knutson's right shoulder, or his right shoulder with my left hand, just holding him, being like, "Hold the line."
Yeah, yeah.
And then at one point, a very big man fell into us, and I got rocketed nearly off of my feet, and nearly headbutted Aubrey.
Oh, dude.
Like,
That's a big deal because you pack a wallop with your.
I got a cranium on
You-
me.
you-
So the fact
dude's got a crown.
if she would have gotten hit, she would have gone
She'd been done.
down. Like, it would have been
bang.
night. The show would have been over for her and Logan. Like, probably double black eye, unconscious. But that didn't happen. Thankfully, she said it was close. But then the rest of the show was incredible. We figured it out.
Sure.
Very scary though. I got the guitarist of Bill Murray. He came out before the show and autographed Steven's Hog pedal. They released a pedal called the Hog, and he signed it for Steven. And then we got to talk to him, and I was like, "Dude, I wish my son could have come here. My son Kian loves Bill Murray, but he also loves Roblox. And in a few of these concerts, Reese, the guitarist, goes, "Hey, do y'all mess with Roblox?" And then I talked to him. I was like, "Dude, if you could shout out Roblox, my son was by it." He's like, "If you guys mess with Roblox, get in the middle of this room and get in that pit." And he said it right before a big breakdown, and it was incredible.
Dude.
And I told Kian about it, and he thought that was awesome that he brought up Roblox. He's like, "Yeah, if I would have been there, I would have been like, hey, I like Roblox too." Hey, I like me. But I would
That's
not
funny.
let. There was a kid about Kian's age who got to stage dive a few times. though.
Really?
Mhm.
That's cool. Have you
Right
ever
by where his
stage
dad was.
dived?
No.
Dove? Stage
I don't
dove?
go I like to observe the shows and have a good time away from people.
Yeah.
So I don't like really tight spaces where it's all super hot. I'm a really temperature-wise very hot person in general.
Sure.
So I'm like, I don't want to be in that. And so I try to stay away. And then I never go in the mosh pit. I just watch.
Yep.
And then with like crowd surfing, I don't want people touching all up on my butt. And
Sure.
having to think about, where are my keys? Where's my phone? Where's my wallet? You know what I
Oh,
mean?
yeah.
Like,
That's really practical, actually.
it's just a stage dive or crowd surf is not for the anxious mind.
Yeah.
And that's what I have. I picture everything going wrong.
Is that why we're seeing a decline in stage diving? Because the anxious minds are on an increase?
Maybe.
Perhaps?
There was not a lack of stage diving there. There was stage diving happening in the middle of songs, like no music happening at the Bill Murray show.
Just
cause
stage dive transition.
Yeah, that was wild. There was something else new that happened that I wanted to bring up. It happened. Oh, I started playing Fortnite.
What?
I never thought that would happen.
No way.
Earlier this year. I
Dude.
forget how it happened. Steven was over with Kian. He was hanging out with him. Steven Voss got married.
Oh, yeah.
We're not
And we're not
censoring
bleeping Steven's name
shout out
anymore.
Steven.
We're saying it.
We
it's
did.
out in the open.
Steven Voss got married. I was his best man. Had a great time at his wedding
was a
reception.
beautiful
That
wedding.
Awesome. Super cool.
Steven looked handsome as heck.
He did.
Dude.
He did.
He looked sharp.
He did. And he wrote a song for his wife with Josiah Keith, and we performed it after the wedding.
That was so fun.
They did a prayer, and all the groomsmen left because the groomsmen were the band.
Yep.
And then the bridesmaids took both sides and opened a curtain to reveal the band. It's very cool. That song is on Spotify. It's called Ever After by Stephen Voss.
Yep.
Little sneak peek. There's a live version coming.
No
from
way,
the wedding,
for real?
'cause we recorded it live.
You
at
did
the wedding.
not.
So there will be a live version.
Oh,
of that
that's
coming
so
as well.
cool.
Very, very cool.
Man, I want to be that cool.
It was fun. It was
That
a
is
fun
so
little
cool.
thing. It was cool. So Steven downloaded Fortnite when he was over with Kian one time, and I saw it on there, and I never did anything. Then I finally got on it and played it. I played Zero Build because I hate the building in Fortnite.
Yeah.
And I played Zero Build, and I had a great time. And then I just got hungry to do like achievements and stuff, and so now I've been playing a lot of
On the
Fortnite. I
grind.
played Fortnite with Kian. I have a bunch of skins now. I never thought that would happen because I found out you unlock them in the battle pass. I didn't know that. I thought you had to buy every single one.
Really?
Yep.
Yeah.
So like we've unlocked the next person for us to unlock is Mysterio. Then after
That's
that, we unlocked
cool.
Gwenpool. We unlocked Deadpool. We got Iron Spider. We unlocked Jonesy, which is like the default white blonde-haired guy in Fortnite. He has a Captain America skin called Captain Jones. We have that. So it's fun. It's something Kian and I play together.
Yeah,
we bond
that's
over and
awesome.
We just hunt down achievements and stuff like that, and it's pretty fun. It's actually, I never thought I would say that I...
Fortnite's it's interesting for a lot of reasons, but it is a fun game. I haven't played it in years.
They have a lot of Marvel tie-ins right now. They're going through all their
which is
Marvel
really
stuff.
cool. Really cool.
We have Magneto. I unlocked Magneto. A Ninja Turtle. We have a Ninja Turtle. John Wick. Not the John Wick, the OG John Wick skin either, like the actual Keanu Reeves John Wick. So getting Keanu Reeves to do the Dougie in Fortnite is pretty funny to watch.
That's pretty good, actually.
Yeah.
Man, that's a lot of concerts.
A lot of concerts. Big concert year. I don't think I have any more this year. Oh, I saw Wage War as well.
What? You saw
Wage
what?
War.
Is that a band?
They're a metalcore band.
Oh, okay.
Wage War and Nothing More opened for them.
Okay.
And I went by myself because I was going to meet up with Hannah Guinan and her husband Alex Guinan there. And then I ended up meeting with Tony Cosgrove, Daniel McPherson, Jared Garwood, and I think that's it for that. Basically their band. And I just got to hang out with these guys who are all older than me, but they've been in bands since like I was in elementary school. And so I was just walking around that show with them. They were running into countless people like, oh, remember that show we played in 2005? Oh, yeah, this show, blah, blah, all this stuff. So I just got to hang out with them and like walk around and hear about all these different bands that they got to play in. And then see three. So Sleep Theory was on that. They opened for everybody. Sleep Theory is an incredible, like kind of up and coming band. Nothing More. I hadn't listened to anything by them. They put on an incredible show.
Yep.
And then Wage War was really, really solid as well. They're a great metalcore band. So my favorite concert I've been to this year it's hard because Dayseeker was incredible. They got to put on a full-length show. But Lainey, there's something special about. My wife doesn't really like going to concerts, so when she does, it's like my favorite thing to go to concerts with her. Oh, and I forgot I saw the band Camino. Dude, the band Camino and Lainey are.
You mentioned it. You said
there.
You saw them twice.
Yeah, so I saw the band Camino last year at the Steel House, last October. Yep. So just before like that last recording got put out, because it was like October 4th. Mm-hmm. Saw them at Steel House. It was unreal. And then I got to see them again in Des Moines with a friend of mine named Tyler. And yeah, it was just like they just ripped in, like the back half of the set list was just like banger, 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 bang. And it just like kept going. And it's just like nuts. So all of those just so good. Lainey, I hadn't seen since 2019. Wow. That was the last time they were close. So prior to this podcast even happening.
Yeah.
So a lot of concerts.
That's a lot of fun, dude.
Do it again next year.
I don't know.
Cool. If any of those bands come, I mean, the band Camino I've now seen like, let's see. Saw them open for Ben Rector. Then I saw them later, or a little while after that.
I didn't know they opened for Ben Rector.
They opened for Ben Rector on his Magic Tour.
Oh, really?
Yep.
What?
Saw him in Kansas City. They opened for him in November of 2018. Then I saw them in February of 2019.
Huh.
In Des Moines, really small venue. And then I saw them in September of 2019.
Yep.
At the Slowdown, where they got banned from the Slowdown.
Oh, yeah.
Then I saw them.
I was there for that.
When did I see them next? I think the next time I saw them was post-COVID. I saw them at the, whatchamacallit, supposed to be the Admiral, but it was actually at, it was the place in Lincoln, the Bourbon Theater in Lincoln. And then I saw them at the Steel House, and then I saw them at the Valair Ballroom in Des Moines.
Nice.
So seen them 6 times.
A ton, yeah.
And I'll see them every time they're close, and it's not expensive.
Yeah.
So I think they're
pretty
climbing
cool.
that ladder.
That's super fun. I am not a huge concert guy, but I like a good show.
Mm-hmm. Which is funny to me because you love like really solid electric guitar, so it strikes me that you would love to go to like.
I don't know what
like that.
I don't know what to do with my body. Like, most of the time I'm listening to music and I'm just chilling. And then we went to the band Camino, and it was great. Like, it was a great show. The music was great. I loved it. My ears were very happy. And I'm standing there and I'm like, now what do I do with the rest of me? Yeah. Like, because I just didn't go to that many concerts as a kid. Definitely not in high school. I had some friends take me to some concerts that they really liked, which included like Sick Puppies and...
Oh, dude, Sick Puppies. What a name. I haven't heard that name in quite some time.
Saw them. I had a friend bought me tickets to Nickelback. Didn't even ask. Was just like, hey, I bought you tickets. You're going. Which at the time was the best show I had ever seen, and I was surprised.
They probably crushed it.
It was a great show, but it was it was at the whatever is it the CHI Center downtown now?
Yes.
Whatever. I don't know who bought it last, but back when it was the Quest.
Oh, dude, the Quest Center.
The Quest Center.
QWEST, company that no longer exists.
Yeah. So not big on, like, I enjoy them. I just don't know what to do with myself.
Yeah,
and it depends on the music.
I've started moving my body a little more at concerts. It always felt weird to me, like if I put my hand up at all, even if I was just like doing like a point or something.
Yeah.
It always felt like, oh, I got to be careful because I don't want to keep my hand up there too long because it looks like worship.
I'm not worshiping.
I'm not doing that.
Yeah, but I am enjoying myself.
But I've started not like keeping my hand up open. It's usually like a finger point or like my... Not like a rock fist to the sky, but like just it's usually like a quick movement and then it's back down.
Yep.
So, but I've started moving my body a little more at concerts because I used to do the same. I used to just like observe and just be like,
yeah. We went to the last time not the last time Ben Rector was here, but when he was touring for whatever his last album was. I can't remember the name of it. Not Magic, but the other one. We were in. Is it Council?
Stir
Cove, yeah. We were outside of Stir Cove. Got a high five because he ran off the stage and ran around the place. And Kylie and I had bought a bunch of tickets for pretty much the Papillion staff team and some other friends because we all enjoyed Ben Rector. That was a lot of fun. And that was one that was easier for me to be like, I know these songs. I love these songs. I can sing along to these songs easily enough. The range isn't like way out there for me, which the band Camino is, which I'll try my hardest, but I can't. It's just so high.
Believe me, I feel the same. They're always high songs, but I still get
dude, I'll scream them in the car when it's just me and my radio. I will belt it, and it'll sound awful.
Dude, if you're worried about people sounding thinking you sound awful at concerts. You've not been to enough concerts.
That's true. That's
My
true.
favorite thing is listening back to videos that people are trying to have serious things, and then you hear the person in front of them who's just
Yeah.
fighting for their life vocally.
People, speaking of people like screaming at a large gathering, somebody tried to assassinate the president since the last time we recorded.
Former president.
Former president. Running for president
Yes,
now.
currently, yes. That was crazy.
That was nuts.
That was crazy.
I had no idea until like the day after.
Yeah, that was pretty wild. Deadpool and Wolverine came out.
Yeah, that was
Hugh Jackman
fun.
and Ryan Reynolds are now in the MCU.
Officially.
Which is crazy.
Canonically.
Kang is no longer happening.
He's out.
Now we're looking at Doctor Doom, played by Robert Downey Jr., which is wild.
Yep.
How do you feel about that?
I feel a little numb toward Marvel.
Yeah, I can see that.
And not like bad, but just not in. I just don't have a whole lot of interest.
Yeah.
You know what I mean?
Yeah.
And what I wanted were give me more new characters that I really come to care about.
Yep. But instead they're like, yeah, but what if we gave you somebody you love, but as a different character that you've wanted to see for a while?
Yeah, exactly. Which feels like it's gonna work. People are gonna be like, I can't wait to see RDJ play this other character. And that is cool. Like, I would love to see RDJ as a villain in the MCU. That's a unique take. That'll be super fun. I'm sure they'll do it great because he's been doing it for forever and he's a great actor and all that jazz. But it also feels a touch like we couldn't deliver on giving you compelling characters that made you want to come and see their stuff more and review it better.
Yep.
So we're doing an Audible, which is good for them. They probably need to. But still kind of like, I'm not a
But
huge
also
fan.
with them kind of putting a bow on the multiverse stuff.
True.
How are they going to explain that?
I don't know.
Like, are they going to do like heavy prosthetics? Like, they could do that. They could do like heavy prosthetics and make him not look like Robert Downey Jr.
Yep.
Because even if he like shaves his face, he's still going to look strikingly similar to Tony Stark.
Yeah, totally.
So it's like, how do you? Maybe he ended up there.
Maybe that'll be part of like. What if Doom is part of the reason the multiverse gets wrapped up? Like, what if he's?
That's true.
He seals it up.
Yeah.
And manages to be the next big threat because of it.
If he battles through and stuff like that.
Could be.
Also, Madam Web came out.
Oh yeah, I forgot about that.
I'm just going to say the Hunter comes out soon.
I'm going to say this. I care 0% about Sony's MCU titles.
Minus
0%.
Across the Spider-Verse.
Live action titles.
Yes.
Live action titles.
That is the
Across the Spider. That
you're not excited for Kraven?
None whatsoever.
Kraven with the rhino, dude. Or Venom,
So
Last
dumb.
Dance. It's got
So
a Venom horse.
Dumb. Gosh, I can't stand it. It makes me mad because I love that IP so much.
Oh, I went to Serbia. That happened last October. I went to Serbia. Spider-Man 2, the video game, came out, and you guys came over to our house once, and you got to play it a little bit.
I got to swing around in New York City. I turned off the swing assistance. I swang like a real Spider-Man. It was great.
He swung.
I swing.
He swanged. Man,
super fun.
So much has happened.
I almost got scammed on Facebook Marketplace for a free PS5. Turns out, not really. I didn't almost. I like to put my feelers out there sometimes for deals that are probably too good to be true, but you never know.
Yeah.
So you play around. There are lots of people, and I don't know why. If you know why this happens and how they, I don't know, take advantage of the opportunity, somebody help me understand. But they'll put something on Marketplace, Facebook Marketplace, and say it's for free when it certainly should not be for free, like a PS5.
Yeah.
And the bios are all a little bit different. This one was like, this belonged to my daughter and she tragically died and I just need it out of my house because it's so sad.
Yes.
And I was like, well, that could be a true story.
Dude, so many people do that.
I bet
so many people
not
do
a
that.
true story though. But I'm still going to message the dude, right? So I did. And I was like, I'm so sorry to hear about your loss. And in my brain, I was thinking, you dirty liar.
That's brutal. Oh, I'm so sorry about your loss.
I'm so sorry about your loss, you rat.
Or am I?
Yeah.
Oh, jeez.
And then he was all like, yeah, all you got to do is pay for shipping. And I was like, yeah, I'm out. I'm sure this is going to be like you pay for shipping. Oh, there's a shipping problem. I need you to wire me this thing. Blah, 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 blah. When I was a kid, we got scammed out of 2 toilets that way. Actually, not out of 2 toilets.
Huh?
We got my dad was doing contractor work, and he came home with 2 fully functional like porcelain toilets that were brand new, and he was like, "Turns out we didn't need these at the job site. Cole, if you can find a way to sell them online, you can keep the cash." And I was like, "Great!" So my mom helped me put it on Craigslist.
2 toilets.
2 toilets, and somebody messaged us right away, and they're like, "I will absolutely buy these." And then it turned into this whole like, "Oh, I'm sending my shipping guy, and he needs this, and I need you to wire me that, and then once you wire that money, then I'll send you this money and whatever." And we all fell for it, hook, line, and sinker, which I felt really bad about. But then I was like, I'm like 12.
I am 12.
I'm 12, and my mom later was like, "I feel so dumb. I should have like." At 0 points did I think, this guy wants me to wire him money before he sent me any money? That's a scam. So yeah, we got done dirty because of the toilets.
Dude. Out of 2 toilets.
Out of 2 I mean, we still had the 2 toilets. We just didn't have like $1,400 after that.
Yeah, but
Don't get scammed, guys.
don't get scammed out of
get
toilets,
scammed.
kids.
It's that kind of stuff that teaches
Somebody
you how to
asks you
spot
to
a
wire
scam.
money prior to
Don't ever do it.
yeah, don't. I don't know what I was
do
going to
it.
say there. Just stop.
Have you ever tried to like waste a scammer's time? Like, have you ever gotten a legit scammer that wasn't some automated message?
Usually
'Cause that's fun.
what happens is I get text messages
Mhm.
and it's always like, "Hey, I'd love to grab lunch with you," from a random number. It's like, "So good to meet you this morning." And
Yeah.
working at a church, you're like, "Did I give someone
Yeah, who
my
is
number?"
this?
So I sometimes will feed into it and be like,
Yep.
"Oh yeah, who is this? Oh, this is Ed. I met you at lunch today. Is this Carol?" And I'm like,
Yeah.
not even close."
Nope.
But then I'm like,
I've gotten
"Oh no,
those.
this is Noah." Like, "Hey, no worries." And they're like, "Oh, I'm so sorry to like mess up your day." And I'm thinking like, it's not that big of a deal.
Sure.
Like you just, and I'm like, no problem at all.
Yep.
Nothing at all. And then they're like, "Oh, you're so very kind. Would you like to be friends?" I'm like,
Yep.
"We're not 7. This is a scam."
Yep.
So then I just blocked their number. One time it happened though. And I'm like, "Who is this?" And they're like, "What do you mean? I was just with you today." I was like, "No, you absolutely were not."
Yeah.
Not remembering that I had given my number to Roberto Miranda. He and I just worked that morning at Fremont together.
The actual,
And
not
so
a
he was
scam.
like, "Geez," he's like, "This is Roberto." I was like, "Roberto, I'm so sorry. I didn't recognize your number." And the way you texted me was exactly like this scammer.
Roberto, you give off scam energy.
Your text message gave off scam energy. And I was like, "Roberto, I'm so sorry." I was like, "I'll add your contact to my phone so this won't happen again."
Oh, that's so funny.
So I would love to like mess with scammers, but usually what happens is it's like I'll post something on Facebook Marketplace. They'll respond like, "Hey, I'd love this. Is it still available? Text this number." And I'm like, "Nope, I'm going to stay on here." And then they don't respond. They block you. Or like I'll respond and be like, "Does it bring you like some sick sense of pleasure to like message people like this? Like, do you think I'm like 96 and I don't know how to use like the internet?"
Right.
Like whatever. And then they'll stop messaging you.
Yeah,
So.
totally. I feel like I haven't gotten one for a while. I did get one time that was like exactly what you described. They text me, wrong number. "Oh, I'm so sorry to bother you." And I was like, "Yeah, don't worry about it." And they were like, "You're super, like so kind and are being so nice or whatever." I feel like it's nobody meets by accident, you know. And I was like, I think some people meet by accident. Goodbye.
Talk to you later.
Yes. See you never. Those.
I think
Like
some people do.
I could be, and you could be Carol when they're like, "Hey, are you Carol?" And you know it's a scam at that point. You'd be like, "Yes, I am."
And then what do? They
It's
just
good.
stop
What do you do
messaging
with that? Yeah. And how can, if it is my dream to play a scammer out of a scam?
To play the role.
Yes, I want to scam the scammer.
I love those. Those come across my TikTok feed sometimes where it's like people, they put on an old person like voice filter.
Oh
And
yeah.
they're like, "Oh, I just bought these gift cards. Don't worry, I'm entering the codes right now to put them in my wallet." And the scammer's like, "No, no, stop, ma'am, stop." And they're like, they've already let them in the computer and they're like, "No, give me the code." I love stuff like that because I love,
Gosh.
dude, there was one, I think it was Mark Rober. Did you ever see the one where Mark Rober like shut down those scamming agencies in India?
Oh,
Like 3 of them. He
Yeah,
got like
yeah,
3 of
yeah.
them shut down.
Yeah.
And he like hacked into their webcams and he's like,
Yes.
"Is this such and such's name?" And
Yep.
then like he turn on his webcam and he'd be like, "Hey guys," and then they all scatter and try and hide from the camera. Dude, those are
that's justice.
Yeah.
Right there.
Yeah.
Those are the real vigilantes. It's
Really.
digital vigilantes.
yeah, digital vigilantism.
Mm-hmm.
Dude, If only there's a Batman for the digital age, and he
Oh.
didn't necessarily assault people. I don't know that I can wish for that.
True.
But if you got their places of business shut down,
True. That's what we need on YouTube, because there's all those people who like hack scammers.
yes,
We
which is
need
awesome.
we need to combine Bat Dad, do you remember those?
Yes.
With the guy who hacks scammers.
Here's what we need. We need all the hackers in the world, rather than trying to hack into things like, I don't know, stealing my social security number, which just happened to like 1.2 billion people.
Yeah, that happened.
Maybe don't do that, and instead just go after these people who are scamming people out of money.
Yeah.
Take their money. Take the
Yeah.
money that don't take the money they're stealing. Take their money.
Don't take their money because it's my money.
Take their money. Maybe, okay, don't take anyone's money.
Use your powers for good.
Shut their
all
business
right?
down. Hack into their
For
mainframe.
good.
Do like the old 90s movies and hack into their mainframe. It's like slamming on a keyboard, clacking, and you're shutting off their lights and stuff. Dude, hacking back in the day. Spy stuff. Did you ever go to book fairs when you were younger?
Yep.
Remember how much spy stuff and
Everywhere.
Ripley's Believe It or Not book,
Everywhere.
world record books there were?
Yep.
The Invisible Ink,
They were like, oh, you know what kids want?
the glasses with a microphone,
They want to be they want to be in Ripley's or Guinness or Super Spies
or they want to be
one day.
spies, which
Yeah.
is true. I did want to be those things.
Yeah.
My spy name was either Ethan or Neo. Neo from The Matrix, Ethan from Mission Impossible.
Oh, wow.
Those were those two.
I'd never had a spy name. That's pretty good.
Yeah, those are the names I would use when I would play spy in my backyard alone.
I had
friends,
a
but
security camera kit that like it was 3 cameras and you could set them up anywhere within range of your little device. And then when somebody walked past the camera, it would go beep, 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 beep.
I had a fingerprint kit where
Did you?
I could dust for fingerprints.
Actually.
I bought it out of a Scholastic book fair.
That's right.
Obviously.
That's right.
Obviously. Every kid is the person you want dusting for prints.
What do you think the margin is, the profit on those book fair trash items?
I mean, it's just like if you were to go to like a prize place at like an arcade, like
Yeah.
a spare time,
Yep.
and
Fair.
like take all of those. It's probably roughly the same.
Yeah.
Like it is clearly like a dollar section toy, maybe $3 to $5 at most,
Yeah.
and then marked up by like 200%.
Yeah.
Especially at a book fair,
Oh, dude.
MSRP, forget it. They're going.
Speaking of toys, you buy any new Hot Wheels lately?
I did not to collect. I'm not doing that. I'm out of the. I'm out.
Are
of
you
the
out
game.
of
I'm out
the-
game? I did find out that the Cybertruck one that I bought though is now selling online for like $52.
Oh, actually.
Just the one, and I have one of them. I think I have 1 or 2 left.
That's wild.
Yeah, the Batmobile still hasn't really gone up.
No.
I'll be honest. I could, if I was able to sell all of them, I would make a profit. I would turn a profit because I bought them all before inflation got to Hot Wheels. So Hot Wheels are now $1.19. I think we've gone into this, and at the time I bought them, they were all 99 cents.
Yeah.
So I'm
So
safe
you
there.
make a profit.
I
How
would
about
turn a
that?
profit, but finding a client
out.
for 300 Batmobiles turns out kind of tough.
That's a lot.
But I recently found. My son has been very into Cybertrucks, but he already has one of those,
Yep.
and he's been very into Lamborghinis.
Yeah.
So I found him a couple Lamborghini ones that just came out, but also, he has gotten back into like Despicable Me and Minions. And they just
Yeah.
released the Groomobile from the first Despicable Me as a Hot Wheel.
Yeah.
So I found one of those for him and my daughter. But that's really it. And then I followed this page on Instagram called I think it's Diecast Hunts, and they post pictures of them hunting Hot Wheels at stores, and they're like how to find rare Hot Wheels. I didn't know this was a thing. There are regular $1.19 Hot Wheels that you can find that have
Yeah. different
markings that they're rare. And so some of the regular Hot Wheels will actually come with like rubber wheels, but they're just rare. They're like chases in like
Interesting.
Hot Wheels cases.
Yeah, yeah.
So like it's chance that you'll find one, but you can find like
Yep.
super rare Hot Wheels
Yep.
in just regular cases. And I didn't know that. So now I'm like, ooh, well, maybe.
Well,
I'm not going to do it, but I've thought about it. I have
sure.
thought about it greatly.
That's not the new hobby you need.
No,
It's-
that is podcasting.
podcasting's the new hobby.
Is the new hobby for me. I also got my dream sneaker
Which
for was it my birthday or Father's Day? I think it was my birthday. It's a Jordan 1, which I have several Jordan 1s, but it is a Bread Jordan 1. So it's the very first Jordan 1 that came out. Bread stands for black and red.
Okay.
BRED, not BREAD.
BREAD.
Yes.
Yeah. Thank you.
And so it's my favorite sneaker of all time. Brand new. They retail for like $600 or $700.
Sure.
Not retail. They resell for that.
Sure.
And I will never be able to get my hands on them, or so I thought. And then I saw this guy list it on an app called Grailed. It's a little more than I wanted to spend, but I found I was able to sell stuff to cut the price in half and then get it to a point where I could be like, hey, can the rest of this just be my birthday gift? And okayed it with my wife, which is great. And I got it. Jordan 1 bread.
That's awesome.
And it was used, but it's real. And then beyond that, like it just, in the condition that it was in, there are ones in worse condition that I found for way more money, like $300, $350, $400.
Yeah.
And that is not at all what I paid for this shoe. I paid far beneath $300, which is crazy for this specific shoe. So I got my dream sneaker. And I'd love to say that stopped me from wanting more shoes. It hasn't.
That's never it.
But
never how
I
it
do
works.
have that shoe now.
That's cool.
That's
almost how I got, not quite the same, but I got my Whoop, which is like fancy Fitbit. Fancy. It's like an Oura ring, if you're familiar with an Oura ring. And it's bigger in the CrossFit space, which I'm not doing as much of anymore. Not doing a whole lot of CrossFit these days. Also, somebody died at the CrossFit Games. That happened. Did you know that? Yeah, Charles is dead, which is sad. We're all mourning in our own ways.
At the CrossFit Games.
Yeah,
somebody died.
Somebody died.
From what?
He drowned. Yeah. I'm going to mispronounce it, but it's Lazar Dukic from Serbia, of all places, actually. Wow. They were doing open swim in, I can't remember the name of the lake, but they moved the games to Texas. They did a 3-ish mile run and then had to swim across the distance in the lake. There's usually an open water event, and the dude straight up just like drowned 150 meters-ish from the finish.
Dang.
Yeah, it's crazy. There's a YouTube channel called the Buttery Bros. They do a whole lot of fun videos covering CrossFit Games. I haven't watched the whole thing yet, but they just released one on this recent CrossFit Games and all this stuff around Dukic and how people responded and what the atmosphere was like at the games, because some people said we should stop. Some people said we should just do exhibition. They decided to continue with the competition anyways. And there's lots of feelings about it, turns out. And I was sitting there looking at my phone the morning after they started the games because I was busy the day before. I couldn't watch it. And I sat down and was like, oh, Tessa, do you want to look at the CrossFit Games with me? She's like, yeah, I do. And I open it up and all the videos on YouTube are like, man dies at the CrossFit Games. I was like, oh, no.
Never mind, Tessa, never
mind. She was sad. She was like, somebody died? I was like, yeah, it's pretty terrible, actually.
Can she still not watch movies that have very sad...
anything in it? Pretty much. We tried to watch Moana.
Oh, no.
That didn't go great when the Chief's friend...
the grandma died?
No, when the Chief's friend drowns, when he's telling his backstory, and he's like, this is why we don't go into the water. My friend drowned.
No.
You know, couldn't handle that.
Wow.
So they watched Cars instead. You know what they love? Mary Poppins. Like the original, slower, old Mary Poppins. They love it. And now my son, whenever we're listening to Disney music and Spoonful of Sugar comes on, he will go, it's Mary Poppins. It's the most adorable thing ever. I love it. He's so cute.
What has Nora started singing? Nora started singing... there's the meteoric rise of an artist named Chappell Roan, and we'll listen to a song called Pink Pony Club. And Nora sings that song, which is very funny.
Yeah.
And I showed her and Kian the AI Plankton cover of the song. And it is... Nora will go, Dad, can we listen to the boy one?
The boy one?
The Plankton one? That's what she wants to listen to, is Plankton singing Pink Pony Club by Chappell Roan. So
there's this weird Planets song that I think they found when they were back in Montessori. And it's so weird. I'll have to send it to you. I will not sing it.
Song.
It's literally a song about the planets in the solar system, but it's just weird and it sounds kind of weird. And they love it. And so every now and again they'll be like, "Can we listen to the Planets song?"
You're like, no.
I hate the Planets song.
Yeah, what are songs that I've slowly tried to get them away from listening to music that I also don't want to listen to.
Yep.
Doesn't always work.
Nope.
But I've tried.
But
I've tried
try.
my best. Yeah, so we haven't been listening to much that's not great
Sure.
lately. If we do, it's almost like house adjacent music. Kian loves like YouTube friendly music, if that makes sense.
Sure.
Like the songs that would be on a YouTube outro.
Yep.
Kian loves that genre of music.
Interesting.
His dream now is to be a YouTuber, as is every
Naturally.
child. I
Yep.
feel like he wants to make gaming content. He wants to make music and music video content. He also wants to make a podcast with Charles
Heck
called
yeah.
Best Buddies, right?
Dude, that podcast would go so hard.
If we start a Cole and Noah, our friends podcast network, our first signee is going to be the Best Buddies podcast.
Love it.
It's going to be Charles and Kian.
Love it.
So, yep. And he said when Steven's on, I forget what he called that. He has 2 podcasts. He has one with Charles and he has one with Steven. And they're different, but they're similar
Yeah.
structure-wise.
Same vibe.
Obviously.
That's fair. That's interesting.
Yeah.
Do you think kids want to be astronauts anymore, or do they care?
Why would you want to do something that would take you so long to achieve?
Yeah, but they're not thinking about that.
No,
They're
I
just
know,
thinking about
but
space.
Yeah, I
right?
guess I'm thinking more like how I would view
Like
it.
when you were a kid and you were in the classroom
I'll
and
be
the
honest,
teacher
I
was
don't really
like,
remember what I wanted to be.
but do you remember what everybody else wanted to be? Because I remember that.
Not really. Dude, okay, you know what's crazy? And people would just say this classifies me as Gen Z. It doesn't. But I don't.
It does.
A lot of people remember where they were the day of 9/11.
Right.
Can't remember a single thing about that day.
Interesting.
Nothing. I was in 2nd grade.
What
That's all I
year were
remember.
you born in?
94.
Yeah, so you're older than me.
Mm-hmm.
Interesting.
But I don't remember a single thing about it.
Because I do.
Like, people are like, I remember my teachers bringing the TV in, and I don't remember a single thing about that day.
Yeah. I remember being in the classroom. I remember recognizing, like, there's a TV in the corner that came on, which is weird. We never turned the TV on. And then something wasn't right. But, like, that's all I remember. And then that night, this sounds terrible. I was a child, okay? I went home. We have the TV on at night. My mom is standing there with her arms folded, standing in front of me on the couch, looking at the TV. And I'm sitting on the couch watching the TV. And we're watching the TV, and I see this plane fly into this tower, and the whole tower comes crumbling down. And I, a child who did not understand, I was born in 95. This was 2001, so I was 6. Went, yeah! And my mom whipped around and went, no, this is a terrible, terrible thing. And I was like, I'm sorry. I was just like, big destruction, so cool, you know, right?
As a child.
Had no idea. Obviously, you have no idea what's going on.
I don't remember
My
anything.
mom freaked out on me, dude.
I don't know why. I haven't for years. I can't recall anything about that day.
Yeah.
Nothing.
That's so interesting.
Not a thing.
I probably wouldn't remember much if that hadn't happened at home.
Yeah, that like
I would have been
locked
like,
it in.
oh yeah, I remember school was a little weird that day, but that's about it.
Yeah.
You know, I was thinking about this the other day.
What if cartoons got saved?
Yes. How we need a new version of one of those,
The
actually.
cartoon song.
That's Stephen Voss's next song, actually, is
Yeah.
a modern take on the cartoon song.
Yeah. I was thinking the other day.
Kind of like have we recorded since they released the like updated We Didn't Start the Fire? We did. We talked about it on our podcast.
That was the last name of the episode.
Was it the last
Yeah,
one?
the
We
la-
didn't tell them what happened. Remember when we said on the podcast that should be the next Christmas party thing?
Yeah.
And
yeah,
then they did it.
Yeah.
We released that episode.
We
and
didn't start the fire.
Yeah.
Is the last episode?
The
we
last
uploaded.
episode. Okay. We released that episode.
Oh my god.
And then I got I talked with Eric Geyer, and he was like, hey, I just want you to know that thing you said on the podcast, which I was like, how did you find out about that? But he was like, that's a great idea, and we're actually going to do it. So they wrote a We Didn't Start the Fire cover parody for Lifegate.
Oh my
did it
gosh.
at the Christmas party because you and I said it on the podcast.
And people say we don't have influence.
I know, right? It's crazy.
Thank you, Charles.
We didn't get any credit at the Christmas party for it, but that's okay. It wasn't about us. I was just happy to see it happening. It was
However,
really
this
great.
year's Christmas party, Lifegate Christmas party, that you're all invited. No, I'm just kidding.
Everybody's there. It's a potluck.
It's
Please
going to
bring your own food.
be the first ever live podcast, but just for
The
Cole, just for
Cole and
Lifegate.
Noah are friends live.
Yep, and we're gonna
December
ask questions,
something.
and we're gonna ask questions.
It'll be
It'll be a Q&A, but backwards. We will ask the audience questions.
Oh my gosh. Anyways, whole reason I brought it up. Generational markers. There are things some people remember, others don't. Things hit different generations differently.
Cole is Captain Barna.
I am Captain Barna. Here I am with the data. My daughter will maybe remember some of COVID.
Yeah.
But the rest of my kids certainly will not. And I wonder what that effect will be like. Like, how did the elementary kids and maybe early middle school kids, how are they going to come out a little bit different?
Yeah.
Who were that age when COVID hit and all the shutdowns happened, compared to the ones that grew up not knowing anything?
Yeah, that's
because
a good point.
They were too young or didn't exist yet.
Yeah,
that'll be a big generational
Steven's
shift.
Final year of school was 2020. What would have been his last day of school prior to spring break was he got into a car accident and called me and had me pick him up. And then we hung out that day. And then that was a Friday. The next week they had spring break. And then the next week they were like, we're going to extend spring break by a week because of COVID.
Yep.
And then he never went back to school. And then he graduated in like mid-July.
Yep.
Which is and
crazy.
We had conference.
We had conference. That's how NCC shut down. Yeah. They said, hey, spring break is going to be a long one because this COVID thing. We'll let you know when you're coming back. And then they said, just kidding. No one's coming back because we're closing permanently. We're done.
Surprise.
Surprise. We're out. Yeah. Man, a lot of stuff. A lot to catch up on.
That's right. And the good news is we're back. So there will be more of these.
Baby, we're back.
Don't you worry. But Cole and I do have to go pick up our children from school.
We do. Turns out our children are in school.
So Cole, before we go, we're going to bring it back. What are some recommendations you
Heck
have?
Yeah.
Movie, food, music.
Movie, food, something for your eyes.
Yeah,
ears,
something for your eyes,
mouth.
something for your ears, something for your mouth, something for your soul. Maybe something that maybe we'll add a fourth recommendation. Something for their soul.
Interesting. Something for your soul. Okay. Something for your eyes. If you haven't seen, or if you have seen, the last Spider-Verse movie, go watch it again because it's beautiful.
So
it's
good.
lovely. I love it. Well, also something for your eyes. You know, a really great show that I'm not ashamed of. Gilmore Girls. It's so fun.
Okay.
My wife is rewatching it because it's fall and that happens.
Yep.
It's just part of her rhythm.
Yep.
And I stop and I watch with her for a good hour.
Yep.
Because it's just great.
Like, I'm not going to watch this, and then you sit down and you're
Yeah,
stuck.
totally.
Yeah.
Absolutely.
You're locked in.
It's one I'm not ashamed of. The Bachelor is one I am ashamed of. I have a hard time walking away when it's on, which we don't watch much anymore. But this one I'm not ashamed of. It's just wholesome and it's great. And
wholesome.
Rory and Lorelai are just fantastic. Gosh, I love them. Something for your ears. Something to listen to. Go listen to Steven's song. It's a good song.
Ever After by Stephen Voss.
It's a good song.
Sung by Josiah Keith.
Yes. And then something for your mouth. Gosh, something to eat. I had my pineapple chicken curry again today, and it's delicious.
I think you talked about that the last time
I think I did, and it's still a banger.
It's still up there.
Or if you like cheap food, do this. Take some chicken breast, cook some chicken breast, okay? Get a thing of cheap ramen, all right? And then sriracha sauce and a little bit of peanut butter. Mix it all together. So you turn your ramen, your chicken-flavored ramen, put some real chicken in there with a little sriracha and peanut butter, and it tastes a little bit like Thai peanut ramen. It's actually really, really yummy. So
what about something for your soul?
Something for your soul?
Something for your soul, Cole.
Go lie in the grass and watch the clouds roll by for
unless you're allergic to grass.
For
Get a blanket.
20 minutes and just think about the good things in your life.
No. All right. Beautiful.
There you go.
Something for your eyes from me. Obviously, go watch the Batman. Still a banger.
Correct.
Can't go wrong. Another thing for your eyes that's not the Batman. What? Oh, Fall Guy. Taryn and I just watched Fall Guy with Ryan Gosling and Emily Blunt. It is incredible. It comes out on Peacock if you have Peacock tomorrow for free. Hashtag sponsored. I wish. That'd be so cool. Our first podcast back, we're sponsored by Peacock. How crazy would that be?
That'd be crazy.
Fall Guy. It's a great movie. Very funny. PG-13. Not like raunchy. There's some language, but not anything close to what's typical. Great story. Great stunts. Obviously, it's about a stunt man. So very good. Music. Let's see. Let me go to my songs here that I've been listening to. There is a cover from Fall Guy by Youngblood. It's a cover of a Kiss song called I Was Made for Loving You.
Yeah.
And it's very good. Especially the scene that it's in that movie is very good. So listen to that. Something to eat. Go if you live in Omaha. There's a place off of 168th and Maple, 168th-ish and Maple. It's by that Oscars that's over there called the Mercado. It's local, I guess what would be a butcher, but not really. So
Sure.
they have a ton of their own cuts of meat there. I went there the other day and got some steak, and it's very good cuts of meat, very, very good food. And cook yourself a nice steak.
Yeah. Do
Because that's what I did, and I figured out a way to make steak that I actually enjoy eating, and it's very good. You get out your steaks, you let them sit out, get room temperature for about 30 minutes. Then you put some olive oil on them, cover those in olive oil. Then you put seasoning that you like on there. I have this one that I got from Home Depot, of all places. No, Lowe's. From a brand called Meat Church. And it's the seasoning is called the Gospel.
No, it's not.
It is. And I coat my steaks in that, and they're very good. I know.
Season my steaks with the Gospel.
Yeah.
I
don't really like saying that it's
that's
but
perfect.
it really is called Meat Church, and the seasoning is called the Gospel, which is very funny.
That's the only right thing to put on pork, because that's the only.
No, I don't have the Holy Gospel. No, I do. Which one do I have? Hold on. I'm going to find it right now. I'm pretty sure it's called the Gospel. Yeah, I'm like 90% sure it's called the Gospel, which is very funny. So I got that. So do that. And then Something for Your Soul. I'm reading through a book right now called Can I Say That? By, I believe her name is Brenna Blaine. And it is, let me make sure. Hold on. It's all about, Brenna Blaine. Basically, it's all about asking questions to God and knowing that He can handle those questions. It covers just a whole lot of things that she's been through. She's gone through a lot of suffering and still come out and still loves Jesus and speaks on that. And she has the testimony to back up what she's saying. So it's a very good, very, very good book. So I would read that. Some heavier stuff. So if you're not in for a heavier, like nonfiction read, maybe steer clear of it. But it's very good, and it just frees you up to know that you can ask God really hard questions, and He can handle good, bad, and ugly of whatever you bring Him. So that's it. And Cole, I think the people want to know, after nearly a year away, are we still friends?
Oh, man. I feel like we're better friends than we've ever been.
I think so.
And I can't wait for this new podcast
new chapter.
Adventure. Heck yeah.
Who knows? Maybe we'll make a new logo.
Whoa, we need to.
Guys, we even have a new space that we're recording in.
It's true. Everything's new.
Maybe
it's a brand new
we'll
day.
pay Caleb to make a logo so it'll look cool.
That would be super dope.
He's already helped with so much.
I know, he's amazing.
We can convince him to do a little.
Shout out to Caleb Kraft for being fantastic.
Charles, would you say that we're still friends, me and you?
I'd say
Amen.
Yep.
And on that note, we'll catch you next time. I don't know when the next time is, but it won't be a year from now.
Correct.
That's for sure.
We love you all.
Adios.
Bye.